This is America in Space, a weekly news and information program on current events dealing with the space industry.
Welcome, and thanks for joining me today. I'm Dawn Meyer, Space Coast News Editor.
The test is now complete. The test is now complete.
That was Daryl Nail of NASA Communications announcing the successful completion of the Artemis 1 tanking test on Wednesday, September the 22nd. A small hydrogen leak was detected in a different location than the one that caused the launch scrub on September the 3rd. This leak remained within allowable limits and the test completed with all objectives met. Here are Daryl Nail and Charlie Blackwell-Thompson, Launch Director for NASA's Exploration Ground Systems program, to talk about the test.
This is Artemis Launch Control at the completion of the Artemis 1 cryogenic demonstration test. I'm Daryl Nail with NASA Communications, and with all of the test objectives met, we have Charlie Blackwell-Thompson with us, the Launch Director for the Artemis mission. Thanks for being here, Charlie. Charlie just wrapped up comments with her launch team after a long day of testing and a challenging day at times, but overall, a lot of success. I want to get your thoughts, Charlie, on how the test went in your mind.
Well, I think the test went really well. We went into this test, we wanted to learn. We wanted to evaluate the LH2 TSMU under cryogenic conditions, understanding that we had done both an 8-inch and a 4-inch seal removal and replacement out at the pad. And we got into our loading operations. We had a new loading procedure that we had in place. It was very purposeful in the way in which we went through the loading ops. We wanted to be, we called it kinder, gentler, where we really monitored the temperatures and the pressures across the interface. And once we got into what we call our fast fill operations, we did notice as the pressure came up that we did see a leak in the plate cavity, the 8-inch QD. We went through our pre-planned. We have utilized it a couple of times where we stop flow and we allow it to warm up and then we reinitiate. When we reinitiated flow, we began to raise the pressures back up to get back into a fast fill configuration, and we're successful in that. So we did not see the same leak signature, which was wonderful. It allowed us to go through our loading profile all the way to core stage replenish. We also loaded the upper stage today as well, went through our kickstart bleed, went through our pre-press test. So all of the objectives that we set out to do, we were able to accomplish today.
And it was impressive just to watch and take in and listen to the engineers as they work through those leaks. Again, just impressive work. I wonder what your thoughts are on these seals, which, as you mentioned, were replaced. You're learning a lot. There's a lot of data yet to look at. What are your early thoughts about how they're behaving and what a path forward might be?
Well, I think you got to always take the data and go look at what it tells you. One of the pieces of data very encouraging to me was as we raised the pressure, we actually saw the leak go down. And,
on the 8-inch QD.
Yes.
Yep.
And so this is a pressure seal, pressure assisted seal. So that was very encouraging. And then, we saw the leak rate really taper off. So we'll go take all the data from this event, the early data, the data all the way through loading, through our pre-press test. The engineers and the team will go take a close look at that and evaluate what we learned today. And then we'll certainly be applying that as we get ready for launch.
The big question is, as you just mentioned, getting ready for launch. What does that mean? What are the chances for a launch here on the 27th?
Well, I think we'll take the data and we'll go see what it tells us. I am extremely encouraged by the test today, getting through all the objectives, and we're setting up in our scrub turnaround to begin replenishment ops in preparation for our launch day. Well, like I said, we'll go take a look at the data. I think I don't like to get ahead of the data. And so I'd like the team to have the opportunity to go look at it, to see if there are changes we need to make to our loading procedure, our timelines, or if we're good as is. But I'd like the team to have an opportunity to look at that before I speculate.
And last question on the team itself. As we encountered that first leak, you could kind of feel the room deflate just a little bit. And then as they worked it and got past it, there was a lifting, so to speak, of the room. Talk about kind of what you went through. You were observing this and what you saw your team and how they reacted.
Well, I'm really proud of the team. I think they reacted well. You're going to be disappointed when you see a leak, and I think that's normal. But what they did is they went and looked at what are our contingency procedures, what do we have in place, how do we work our way through it, and they went through those ops just as I would expect them to do, and we were successful in managing our way through it. And you're right, as we began to see that those contingency procedures were successful, certainly there was a lift within the room, but I couldn't be more proud of the team today and the work that they did.
And so now you march on and get that data, take a look at it, and see what leads us. Charlie Blackwell-Thompson, Launch Director for Artemis, appreciate you being here.
And I really thought that Daryl Nail nicely summed up the importance of the Artemis program.
It's the Artemis program. It is a new era of lunar exploration. NASA and its partners will lead humanity forward to the moon and prepare us for the next giant leap, the human exploration of Mars.
Thank you for joining me. Remember each Tuesday to join David Denault for America's Return to Space, and join me every Friday for America in Space. From the Florida Space Coast, I'm Dawn Meyer, Space Coast News Editor for About Space Today.
It will be America's next giant leap, our first return to the moon since 1972. On Tuesday, September 27, NASA will make a third attempt to launch the most powerful rocket ever built to carry the Orion spacecraft to the moon and beyond. Join Dawn Meyer, Space Coast News Editor, and me, David Denault, live from the Kennedy Space Center at 11:05 a.m. on our YouTube channel. And write this down, it's tinyurl.com/AboutSpaceTodayYT. Once again, that's tinyurl.com/AboutSpaceTodayYT. Don't miss this history-making event. Mark your calendar for Tuesday, September 27 at 11:05 a.m. on our YouTube channel. Artemis, our return to the moon to stay.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to share our program with your family and friends and follow us on Facebook. Join us each week for news and information on America in Space.